Hello, Kansas City, and welcome to another episode of Speak Up. Today's going to be a little different. Today, I'm not going to have a guest. I'm going to come to you and talk to you about something that I think is very serious and things that I think we need to talk about. I want to speak up about what's going on in America, all the different issues and things that are happening with gun violence, the abortion rights, and the divisiveness that we find ourselves in America today. We have been a country of democracy. We were built on democracy. We have a constitution, and we have an executive branch. And right now, today, I think we no longer understand our position as we the people. So I'm going to talk a little bit about partisan and nonpartisan, and more than anything, nonpartisan. As an American citizen, I'm a nonpartisan citizen. And I'm not here today to talk to you or to share my political views or to endorse any one party. That is not why I'm here. I'm here to give you some insight on your power as a person in America who has the right to vote. So let's talk about not partisan or nonpartisan, especially free from party affiliation, bias, or designation, nonpartisan ballot, a nonpartisan board. Other words from nonpartisan synonyms and antonyms. More example sentences I'll teach you about as we go along. So as a nonpartisan, meaning that we're not caught up in the party affiliations. Although some of us vote Democrat, some of us vote Republican, some of us vote independent, which is fine. But when you go and vote, what are you voting for? What do you know about the candidate that you're voting for? And then once the candidate is in office, do you hold that candidate accountable, whether the candidate is somebody you voted for or not? So I'm going to give you a little sample. Today, I really want to talk about your right to vote, or not only your right to vote, but your right to hold them accountable. I'm going to say this again. Not only your right, but your right to hold any and everyone who is an elected official accountable, whether you voted for them or not. Far too often in recent history have we given our elected officials carte blanche to do exactly what they want to do. And as a result, today, our democracy has turned into a my way or a highway by our political affiliates. We can't get anything solved or done because we are constantly battling back and forth, depending on who has the most seats in the House. Doesn't matter what the people want. It only matters of who sits in those seats. And the crazy thing is today, we are able to stack the deck about who sits in the seat by the way we elect in different states. And then we can draw lines and create districts, and we can do all these things that really take away the voice of the people. Or we think, or they think, I'll put it like that. Because you have a voice. You have a voice. So I'm now going to focus specifically on the Black community. It is very disheartening when I hear us complaining and fussing about the way things are in our economy. Yet, in our last election, less than 7%, I'm going to repeat that, less than 7% of the Black community went to the poll. We are a part of this country, and in order for us to be included in this country, we have to include ourselves. We have to include our voices. We can make the difference. It doesn't matter who's in office, and I'm not going to tell you who's right or who's wrong because that is not my position. My position is we cannot be a part of the fabric of this country until we become a part of the country and the way it is run and the way it is built. So I'm going to reach out, and I'm reaching out in all desperation to my community, especially to talk to you about why we don't go to the poll. If you think that your voice doesn't matter, should I go back to 2008 when President Barack Obama ran for and won the seat? How many black folks went out? And it wasn't just about President Obama. I'm talking about any presidential election. I'm going to say, let's look at 2016. In 2016, we didn't have a lot of votes go out, and we didn't win the seats. But in 2020, and I won't say we didn't win the seats because I'm not either or. Let me clarify that. The seat that they thought was going to win did not win. I will say this though, in 2020, I saw something really, really magnificent. And I saw it in the power of the vote. But my question is, why did you vote? Why did you vote that way? Do you ever think about that? And since your vote, what have you done on either side that you voted on to hold the people that are sitting in those seats accountable? What are you saying to them? Are you going in and are you talking to them? Are you making your voice heard? It's great when you have people out here with signs and protests, but then when it's time for an election, we don't see anybody. I'm going to look at certain different areas, and I want you to think about this when you are out here today even. What is your issue in your community? Are you concerned about the school district? Who have you voted for to sit in your seats at the school district level? Do you support the superintendent and the work that they are doing? Are you parents who care about your children and what they learn in school? Do you show up to the board meetings or to the PTA meetings? Are you involved in your children's school? Let's talk about health care. We know that in the black community, health care is something that is very, very limited. Not very many people have health insurance. And by that, because of that, we have more people that are last minute diagnosed patients. So what do we do about that? We have organizations, we have the health department, we have Health Forward. We have all these organizations out here who are fighting to try and help to get you health care. But are you showing up to back them up, to show that there is a need? Are you showing up? Are you reaching out? Are you letting your political officials know that in our community, we need health care? Let's talk about workforce development. We know that there are tons of jobs in our community. I can't begin to imagine what all the issues are and why people are not able to get the good jobs, but we know there's good jobs out here. I hear so many different reasons why. Transportation, lack of skills, lack of training, lack of opportunity. Are you out here actively seeking to resolve any of these things? Or are you waiting on someone else to resolve them for you? And if you are you making it known that you actually need it? Or are you sitting around complaining about it? My next thing to talk about is small business. We have a small businesses popping up everywhere in this city. But are you really ready to do business? Have you done all the due diligence to become a business, or are you just setting up shop waiting on someone to hand you the opportunity to help your business grow or help you start a business? Have you done the research? Have you done the market research? Have you gotten insurance? Do you know your industry? What have you done? I hear a lot of things about what this politician or that politician has or has not done. But I want to know, what have you done? And what are you doing? I know this sounds like I'm on this bandwagon, but I guess I am. I guess I kind of am on a bandwagon because I have been put into this position and I watch my community that is a strong, robust community. There's talent and intelligence and there's so much opportunity, yet we are not impactful. There's no needles being moved in our community. We're complaining about gentrification, but we're not cleaning it up so that nobody will come in and look at our community as a place to gentrify. We are not developing and making sure that our children are safe. Let's talk about gun violence. I live in the heart of the urban core. And I can say urban core because I live I live east of Troost, and I live west of 435. So yes, I'm on the east side. And I am in the heart of the gun violence. And what are we doing about it? What are we saying about it? We're just complaining. I was on my block the other day watching the children finally playing on my block, excuse me. And they're riding bikes and gunfire rings out. Now I'm looking around, panicking, getting ready. These children never stop riding their bikes. They didn't even flinch. This should be something that we're all concerned about. It bothers me when I get up and there's a murder in my community and there's a mother or a brother or a sister or an aunt or a cousin who is asking for somebody to step up. We could step up. We could do those things. And those of us who are asking people to step up, remember, you need to step up too. These things are happening because we're not doing the due diligence we need to do. We need to get out. We need to get up. We need to take our communities back. We were a village, and what happened in the village was handled in the village. But now we want somebody to handle everything for us. We complain about everything. And I think it's high time that we stop complaining and start using all that God has given us. I've met the most talented, intelligent young people, and I'm so afraid, how many of them are we going to lose? What is it going to take for us to really, really see that all the power is in our hands? It's in our hands. If we stop beating our own chest against one another, if we stop looking at one another and being in competition in the manner of which I'm doing this and you're doing this and I'm doing that and I'm doing that, and bring all our resources together like we used to, we could take back our communities. We could do the things that need to be done. But if we continue to be who we are, we're going to continue to be on the bottom of the rung of the ladder. I'm pleading with you today. I'm out here asking you, whoever is listening, and I'm hoping that I'm reaching a lot of people. And this is not just my community. I'm reaching out to the black and brown community because we're both going through the same issues right now. If you're listening to me today, first of all, find out who your elected official is. Who's your mayor? Who is your commissioner or council person? Who is your alderman? Who's your superintendent? Who's the school board, the directors of school board? Who are your chambers of commerce? What can they do? Who are the people that are out here trying to convene you? I want to say that there's a lot going on in our community, and we have got to come together and make the change ourselves. We cannot just depend on our elected officials. You have to remember that they are one person that have to convince a whole room of people to listen and vote with them. And they only listen and vote with them when they have the power of us behind them. So if we're not going in and letting ourselves be known and showing that we are a part of our community and that our community means a lot, and we invest in our community, and that's another big word, invest in our community in any way we can, meaning we clean our own streets, we cut our grass. If there's a vacant lot, we make sure that lot is cleaned off. We reach out to the city to find out what the city is responsible for, and we hold them accountable. We find out who the county is. Who is your county executive, and what are they doing? Stop letting people tell you what the politicians are doing and find out for yourself. Know firsthand. It's easy to do. It is up to us. One, I'm going to ask you, if you're not a registered voter, get registered. Find out who the candidates are. You'd be surprised. Not all candidates that your party affiliate is a candidate that is for you. Know that you don't have to vote straight ticket, that you can vote split ticket, but find out who the candidate is and find out if that candidate is really working for you and your community. I'm probably going to get beat up for that statement, but you know, I'm going to give it to you straight all the time. It is about you. It is about your family. It is about your future. It is about the future of our community and our next generation. Find out who your leaders are. Who are your community activists? Who are your community leaders? What are they doing and what are they getting out of what they're doing? Are they doing it because it's the right thing to do and they're passionate, or are they doing it because they're getting a paycheck? Let's keep it real and speak up. For real, if you want to do something in your community, look down your block. Start there. Start in your own front yard. What are you allowing to happen in your own home, in your own front yard that you can control? Talk to your neighbors. Find out who your neighbors are. You'd be surprised at who your neighbors are and if they're feeling the same way that you feel. If you want to stop gentrification, let's invest in our own community. Let's invest in our own community. I'm going to say that again. Communities that are thriving and doing well, they don't worry about gentrification. It's only those communities that are blighted, that have no support, and that no one is investing in, especially the people that live in it, are destined to be gentrified. Let us come together. Let us work together. Let us find a way to bridge this gap. We have the power, we have the talent, and we have to stop being afraid of working together. There is power in numbers. It doesn't matter who leads the charge, as long as there's a charge led. We need to come together. If you're interested in speaking up and being a part of this show, brought to you by Televida, this is the only place you'll be able to speak up with total autonomy, and this is the place where we can have these conversations. I'm not saying that I'm right. I'm not saying that I have all the answers. I'm just saying that it's time for us to try something different and expect different results. Let's get over these ideals that I can do it better than you. I need you. I need each and every one of these organizations that are already out here that's trying to do or that are working to do things in their community to convene with me so that we can be bigger in our impact. You may be impacted in a small section, but remember, you have a small capacity. But if we put all our capacities together, we can make true impact in our schools, in our homes, in our housing crisis, in our transportation crisis, in our workforce crisis, in our gun violence crisis. Let's come together and let our voices be heard. And once we put a political official in office, whether we do or not, let me just back up. Whether you do or not, let's come together and remind them, regardless to whether I voted for you or not, you represent the district that I live, work, or play in. And because of that, you represent me, like it or not. And because of that, you owe me your full attention and your consideration for my needs. I'm not going to take up too much more of your time today. I'm just going to say that, you know, I felt like this was a good time to really speak up and speak out. I'm really kind of sad. It saddens me to see where we are in America today. We are the superpower. We've been the democracy. We've been the place that people have always wanted to come to. And anymore now, I'm almost ashamed to say it. But when I look at our executive branch with this my way or the highway attitude that we have right now, it is disgusting. We can't get anything done that is going to affect the people. And if we're not doing anything at the executive branch, what are we doing at the local branches or the state branches? What are we doing that's really making a difference in our community. I will say that Missouri and Kansas right now are two states that are in really pretty good shape considering some of the other states and what they're going through. But let us not drop the ball. It's just a matter of time before we're affected just like any other state. We're not too far away from a Texas. We're not too far away from a Buffalo, New York. We're not far away from any of the other incidents that are going on around the country. We just happen to have not been affected yet. And we have the power to block it. I want to thank you guys for taking the time and being with me today for Speak Up. I hope that I reached someone today. Again, if you want to be a part of Speak Up, contact me at kim@heartlandblackchamberofcommerce.com. You can contact Televida through social media. Let them know that you're interested in Speak Up. And know that we will get you on our schedule. It doesn't matter if you are a political official, someone that has a business, or a neighborhood, or even, and I won't say even, especially if you are a resident or someone in the community. I want to hear your voice. I want to talk to you. I want to know what you think. I want you to speak up, and speak up only on Televida. Televida is the place to be. We want to thank Televida for another opportunity to express ourselves and to be as transparent and as free as we can. Thank you, Televida, and thank you, Kansas City, for listening. Looking forward to seeing you next time. Coming up soon, we will have a whole rundown of new people that will be on Speak Up, and I hope to see you with us. Have a great day.